Minneapolis hitting the streets to remember George Floyd's life and the impact of his death. Organizers have set up musical performances and special guest appearances in the area as people visit George Floyd Square, where Floyd took his last breath 1 year ago. Our Alex Perez joins us from Minneapolis now. Alex, thanks for being here. You were one of the first reporters on the scene after Floyd's death. What is it like there 1 year later?
Well, Diane, we're here at another celebration for George Floyd's life and remembering his legacy here in downtown Minneapolis. You can probably see a number of people behind me here, a lot of media here as well covering this event. People coming together as they have so many times over the last year to remember George Floyd's legacy and what they want to come from his death. Many here repeating what we've heard George Floyd's family say, that they do not want his death to be in vain. They want there to be some sort of substantial change as we move forward. And that's really what we've seen people sort of try to hammer home over the last year everywhere we've been since we started this story 1 year ago today, Diane.
And Alex, earlier today we had a scary moment on the air when we were talking to Alex Perez live from George Floyd Square. I want to play that clip for you quickly. Oh, sorry, we don't have that clip. But Alex, it sounded like there were gunshots in the area. A lot of people were worried, including us, about Alex. Luckily, he's fine. The crew is fine. But we're learning a little bit more now. So can you tell us what we know at this point about what happened there this morning?
Yeah, Diane, some really terrifying moments there at George Floyd Square. Thankfully, as you said, Alex Perez and the rest of our crew is safe and sound. But authorities are now telling us there was a shooting about a block away from sort of the heart of George Floyd Square there that really sent everyone there scrambling and ducking for cover. Authorities say at this point it appears one person suffered non-life-threatening injuries. We do not know of any arrests just yet, but just some startling moments for the media and really the members of the public who were gathered there today to honor George Floyd and his legacy, Diane.
Yeah, and Alex, we do have that clip now, so I just want to play it for everyone, only because our viewers saw this before and may have been frightened. So I want to show it again just so that everybody knows that moment that you saw, everyone is okay.
On George Floyd's neck, but hold on. Go. Down. Behind the engine block. Yep. Behind the engine block.
So again, that was our Alex Perez. The armed man you're seeing in front of the camera is actually a security guard. And so, Alex Perez, can you just talk to us a little bit about what goes into when you're covering stories like this and the security that is around you to protect you in case of something like this?
Yeah, Diane, you know, all of our crews are equipped with security guards that come with us just to maintain the peace, to make sure that things run as smoothly as possible. I have to say the majority of people are peaceful. They come out just wanting to hammer home a peaceful message of change. But of course, like in any situation, you run into certain people where peace is not their goal. And it appears that's what happened this morning there at George Floyd Square. Those shots, when you heard them ring out, it really frightened and startled so many people there. But thankfully, authorities say no one directly in the square there was injured. And as I said, they said a person about a block away suffered non-life-threatening injuries. But of course, that's horrifying for everyone there. And of course, it comes, you know, after the tragic incident that happened right there on that site 1 year ago. So it's just a lot of things coming together and really not doing anything to ease the anxiety in the air there, Diane.
It sure has. And it's an emotional day all around, Alex, even not factoring in what happened there this morning. And I know about an hour ago, the state of Minnesota observed a moment of silence that lasted 9 minutes and 29 seconds, remembering the length of time that former Minneapolis police officer Derek Chauvin held his knee on George Floyd's neck. So can you describe for us what that moment was like being there as people stood there in silence for that long?
Yeah, people across the state here in Minnesota and people across the country are observing those 9 minutes and 29 seconds, remembering that amount of time that George Floyd begged for air, that he was asking for help. As we all know now, Derek Chauvin was convicted of murdering Floyd. And, you know, people here take that moment, those 9 minutes and 29 seconds, very, very seriously. It's an emotional moment. It also marks the beginning of the biggest civil rights movement this country has seen in decades. So it's an important moment, not just for the African American and Black community, but we see people of all races out here observing that moment and really just trying to mark how serious it is and how they want real change to come by everything that has happened the last year, Diane.
And Alex, Derek Chauvin was convicted of Floyd's murder. He's set to be sentenced next month. How is that expected to play out?
Well, you know, we've been following all of the court proceedings very, very closely. He could face an aggravated sentence, which means the judge could impose a more severe sentence. He could face, experts think, about 10 to 14 years behind bars. You have to remember how unprecedented this is. Police officers who are accused are rarely convicted and sentenced. So all eyes will be on this case when he is sentenced on June 25th. And you have to remember there's 3 other officers involved in this, and their trial hasn't even started yet. That's been pushed back to start now in March of next year. So those are all the state criminal proceedings that are happening. And on top of that, Diane, we're also monitoring the federal proceedings. The Department of Justice has charged all 4 of those officers with violating George Floyd's civil rights. We don't know when exactly that trial is going to play out, but a number of criminal proceedings still ongoing with this case that we're going to have to follow for the next several months, Diane.
And Alex, the Floyd family has been hosting a number of events over the last few days, trying to move the conversation forward about police accountability and racial justice. So where does this movement go from here?
You know, the Floyd family, Diane, has made it very, very clear over the last year. They want to remember George's legacy, but most importantly, they say they want to see change happen in America, lasting change, they say. They want to see laws change. They want to see police departments adjust and police officers train differently. And so they've sort of made that their goal from here on out. They created the Floyd Foundation. They're hosting a number of events and have been hosting a number of events here in Minneapolis and in the other areas where George spent part of his life. They recognize and say that this is probably going to be a long journey to accomplish all this, but they want to seize the momentum that's been seen across the country and across the globe the last year, and they want to do something with it. And they believe that with the Floyd Foundation, they're slowly working on that process. And Diane, I've talked to some people who are gathering here to remember George, people who did not know him, who only are aware of this case because of watching, as we all have, what has unfolded the last year. And they say that he feels like a family member to them, and they want to continue to speak up for his name and for change today and in the years to come, Diane.
All right, Alex Perez live from Minneapolis for us. Alex, thank you.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.